Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 14th IESF World Esports Championship PUBG Mobile with me, Eldogi, and still with...
Juju.
Yeah.
It's the same name but different ending. It's Do, Na, and suddenly they changed to a different gender entirely. It's Doggy. Yeah. I'm playing with your names right now.
Yeah, I know. Do not do. Doge is
Which
actually.
Dodo is it? It's Doge.
It's Doge right now. So accompany you guys to watch the third games because Miramar was so amazing. I really like how the high ground gameplay and then how they use the utility and suddenly Brunei did it pretty well and we discussed a lot about Brunei.
Yeah, stay strong about that. You didn't get to cast your favorite map. I get it.
But for Brunei though, why there's no pro league on their country?
Wow, I mean, should we answer here? It's going to be a very dramatic response from the audience, maybe. I'm hoping for us to actually see Bruneians in their own, like, they have respected also part of the PMPL team.
Yeah.
They have the potential. We're waiting for them to come in. Oh, because they have what it takes.
Yeah.
They definitely have what it takes. We're talking about here, the standards are going to be the global players. Because basically we do have, I mean, they put the standards up high with 5 blocks team here coming up from Turkey and 1 million team as well coming up from the side of Morocco.
Yeah.
And we have Titan Gaming from Kazakhstan. So basically my manager told me just now, hey, the Kazakhstan team is actually trying to have a bit of a revenge and redeeming themselves in the PMG scene. Because it's just 1 point shy from getting into qualified.
Yeah, that's totally true. So, I mean, like, back again to Brunei. We hope the next Pro League, they will have it. Because the quality, like Juju already mentioned a lot, is up there. Even they can qualify towards the grand final. And not only qualify, but with a strong performance, 3 back-to-back winner chicken dinner. And starting the day with only second game, they got the winner chicken dinner. And that is so amazing because the position is not easy for them, but still managed to get the win.
Oh yeah, they're definitely having the toughest spot. If you actually notice since the last match, right? The last match, they're not in a very good spot from the start. We're talking about like Kazakhstan actually had the high grounds, the elevation, but just they can't be aware of everything that's going around them. But you know what? We don't want to waste any more time. Enough with the big maps. Let's jump straight into our rainforest of Sunhawk.
Yup. And I think Donna already gave her prediction about Vietnam.
What about yours?
And I think I agree with that because Vietnam is one of the strongest contender when it comes to Sunhawk. Like I mentioned a lot when it comes to play-ins, their gameplay from Eagle is on par with Xavier also. But I think I heard a lot of shout coming from the other venue, which is
the
Ice Stage.
Yeah, the next stage.
So yeah, CSGO is kind of amazing also at the IESF. So the flight path coming from Lakawi towards Hatin. But back to Sunhawk, everyone can go anywhere they want. But Iraq, I think is the fastest team right now to go maximize their loot for the game.
Oh, we do have contenders in Bootcamp, and it's going to be Camp Alpha all the way. Look at this, ladies and gents. What a start here. We are being feasted by the side of Brunei's fighting against Sri Lanka. Chewy with AKM. Take Doom down. Another Amore. Down to 2 more players. It was within flash. And 1 more!
Oh my God! And the shot coming from Brunei is like a statement. Do not go to bootcamp. This is our place. And Brunei, after the winner chicken dinner, there isn't any jinx. They are still inside the game with 4 eliminations.
The Bruneians with that corn head, I mean, like, they're being finished by a corn.
By a corn.
That's just how scary corns are, guys.
Yeah, especially in PUBG Mobile because it's a cute skin, but sometimes corn fight back. I mean, like corn fight back. You ate a lot of corn, but sometimes corn are fighting back.
Don't eat popcorn, though.
Yeah,
they might choke you to death.
All right, but I think the fight is not finished yet because Kampong, 2 teams right now, South Korea and also Team Turkey, and I think the position from the players of Turkey is kind of interesting because it's not a usual one. Even right now, he can see the player from South Korea are moving around. The nades, it is cooked perfectly, but it is not connected. I guess there's a stair right there, and South Korea is still moving around. And I really like how they're moving as a unit, and I think catch. Still waiting the time, still waiting the momentum to catch the player.
But the moment he tossed that Nate just now, just giving away his position to is where he's at on the rooftop. But where are the rest of the Turkey teams? We're looking over as Korebi spotted our big star on the ground first. Mathboy will be next if he's not being careful, but catch, he's alone. Now Lutz, when the rest just happens to be nearby, Euro taking on Lutz, who just arriving back towards the side of Solo. He doesn't have any helmet, but who cares? He don't have enough time. We'll take it on Lutz. Finish it off straight away. Catch. Managed to retaliate. Solus will finish off those on the ground. Waiting on the outskirts and outside. Solus is done.
My God.
It's going to be Solk to do the play. It's on Solk's shoulder. Can he clutch this?
1v2 situation, but Solke, this is a really big news. One of the strongest contender. Turkey just went back to the lobby by the gameplay of South Korea.
Should I stop predicting teams?
I guess the jinx still happen, I guess, for the casters.
Feels bad now.
Feels bad, but again, South Korea, a strong performance, moving as a unit, do the body system well. I think that's the key for a short or a close combat coming from South Korea and Turkey.
Just within less than 5 minutes into the match, we already lost 2 teams. It's still the first phase, by the way. We're like, what? 4 minutes into the game, remain with 14 players, and some teams already don't have enough players to start with, especially coming up from Bruneians. They're already having heavy casualty, even though they got themselves a last chicken. Now, feels like a curse to get that chicken. Every single match, if you get your chicken, the next one you're going to be a bit too soon now.
That's what I'm saying about it. It's a jinx about the winner chicken, dinner after chicken, the too soon area, but Brunei still managed with 2 players. We'll see later because we are moving to the Painan side, Egypt right now. It's a central part. You can move anywhere else easily by Painan, but I'm kind of distracted because a lot of shout coming from the other venue. So for those of you guys who are the fans of CSGO or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you can go towards the ice stage and witness what match they have there.
I mean, like, just come over for PUBG Mobile as well. We need more people here to give more energy. I mean, like, come on, guys.
Come on.
But for the side of Vietnam, to get on Kalaga again, as always, it's got to be Kalaga. You know, a bit naughty one. On the side of Chinese side, Hong is the IGL, jumps straight into the waters and swims he go. And it's going to be a very fishy day for the side of Chinese Taipei today.
Totally, totally. Even I do not see where's the other teammates. Only Hong right now in our view. But I think Iraq realize where is their prey. They want to catch Hong, but Hong is actually really smart. He's swimming not in the open, but near the cliff. So it is not easy to be shot by Iraq player. But I think the tempo, the aggression already lowered down because most of the team already have their place. They are not clashing again at the same spot. So we'll see later. Iraq still collecting what he needs and coming to Sunhawk. Even you are not dropping at the big spot like big cities like Paradise, Bootcamp, you still can collecting a lot of loots you need. But Brunei just fighting Sri Lanka. Right now there is a guest coming from the north, which is Saudi Arabia.
Yep, coming up from Paradise Resort earlier. Saudi Arabia happens to be passing by on the outskirts of Bootcamp, but they have no intention of going inside the compound itself, just passing by peacefully and not even try to go for any warning shots. Straight away, SK Tan and the rest of them jumping into the waters as it's going to be a hard team circle, straight Camp Alpha all the way. Like we mentioned before, if this happens for the first circle pops, everybody is moving in one direction. Now the choking point will be right on the outskirts of Tambang Bridge, and even the choking point will be in the Hearty Circle. But Kazakhstan not having a great day, as we do have the Pakistan players exchanging and trading for 1-1 from quite a distance even.
Yeah, totally. And this is the classic Pakistan. They are so fast when it comes to the circle. You already mentioned about the Camp Alpha circle. So that way, a lot of players right now trying their best to go towards the Camp Alpha because the bridge is hard to be controlled with if you are late going to the circle. So that way, like Saudi Arabia already swam towards the circle. Pakistan already with having the high ground control, and I think a lot of teams will do the same for later on. Back to Indonesian side. still near the boot camp area. I think it is not a good situation for them, especially when the circle shift a lot towards the Camp Alpha or the Alpha Island area. They need to move. I think they want to go towards the central part of the map, which is the northern side of the Painan itself. But I do not see or still do not see any vehicle or any transportation device they can use because it's too risky going to that place.
I agree. It's just best on foot here right now. They're coming out from quarry, just going to loot out for a bit, and they don't have enough when it comes to their utilities. Do have a couple of mat kits or first aids to work with, but I'm surprised nobody dropped even in Sami because we used to, like in the Southeast Asia region, we used to play healing game when it comes to Sunhawk, but it's not that much applicable in this state right now because their teams are so proactive, very aggressive if you compare it with all the other tournaments. Now back to the side of Brazil on the other hand, they're having a good day to have a bit of a drive. I think this might be around on the southern part, so it's going to be Dadin and the rest of them trying to scout out if there's anybody to be happen passing by. Now they are on top of quarry. But in the meantime, that was so lucky coming from the Indonesian team because they might actually just bump into each other if the Indonesians are not migrating earlier.
Oh yeah, that's totally true. And I really like how Brazil did the job really well. I mean, it is so important to have Buggy, I guess, at Sunhawk right now because it is a really good vehicle to spot another enemies and also spotting is there any possibility for someone who can do the backstep towards your team. And I think Brazil did it quite well so far. But back again to the side of Egypt and Pakistan. Two teams with the same mindset. They want to go to the high ground of Alpha Island, and right now I guess the contenders is Egypt because I think they still do not know the trap coming from Pakistan will be happen for a short time.
Well, I'm surprised how the side of Vietnam and as well as a Chinese Taipei are not showing themselves because they're supposed to be here. But here comes Krona, bring around the Resi towards the rock structure. Table taking on with their support fight coming out from behind. But it's going to be Pakistan versus the side of Egypt here. They're trading for 1-2-1. 2 knockdown for the side of Egypt, but not being finished off straight away. Tyler and Arthur try to do the plays with a shotgun.
Oh my
but
God.
It's not going to be enough as Egypt, again, one of those teams who will be a bit early to be eliminated.
Like I mentioned, this is a trap happen or set up by Team Pakistan and it did pretty well, or they are doing it pretty well because a lot of position, a lot of angle, and Egypt, I think, still do not know where's the exact position of these two players, which is Daku and Pharaoh, and they really doing it well. But look at the zone. It shifts a lot to the Alpha Island, and it must be a movement coming from all the players. Even Maldives right now, they fail to maybe search for a boat, and they are swimming towards the western part of the map and going to the Alpha Island.
I mean, I do love Maldives Beach.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely having a go. Having a bit of a, you know, home vibe.
Home vibes,
by
okay.
Swimming there. So, I mean, like, yeah, you guys should watch out for Maldives Beach because they are really cool. But back to the side of Cam Alpha just now, I'm surprised why one of a team like Chinese Taipei and the side of Vietnam, they've already, that's like one of their initial drop spot. They should have gatekeep there while they can because the circle just happens to be on their side. And they can actually take that to their advantage, but they're doing nothing right now. They're just waiting and sitting on their own respective compound, waiting for somebody else to pass by while they can actually take things, take everything into their hand if they want to.
Yeah, that's actually my big question too, because coming to Chinese Taipei when we saw them at the play-ins, if they already have their place, like at Sosnovka military base, they will do the gatekeep. But I think different teams, different treatment. So we'll see later because moving to the side of Kazakhstan, they are still quite aggressive even though they already lost one of their player. But they want to do the gatekeep pretty well with two different angles, Axer, Lone, and the other two players, which is Puncher, the the latest MVP, and also TAQ, still on the high ground. Even they already have the compound right now, they really want to gatekeep the movement from Maldives.
Yeah, they just want to dock themselves for the side of Maldives, but they were not giving up any space. Here come Puncher, last previous MVP in Murama. But can he do it again when it comes to this map here? Puncher try to spell out, just playing around the corners towards the side of Maldives player while they're trying to buy time for the rest of the teammate to swim over. Now they are praying, trying to attract the attention the other way. Addy have to do so much work by himself to buy space and time for the team, but Addy couldn't hold on much longer. Toxin and the rest of them are still swimming as he should be the sacrificial lamb for the team. But Toxin, He's knocked down by the side of Kazakhstan. Even Axa just going to finish him off straight away. Toxin is just cannot be saved at this very moment.
Yep, the position of Axa is so good. Even Rhino Puncher got the position to 2 player from Maldives being knocked down. It is not easy for Maldives because, again, they are swimming on the open, different with what Sri Lanka did before. Chinese Taipei did before. But right now, the last man standing, which is Matt, at low HP, and that's the end for Maldives, I guess. A really good gatekeep coming from Team Kazakhstan.
Oh, man, I just wish they have a boat at this point, really. Because if they can, maybe, I mean, like, how did Addy and the rest of them kind of being separated so much? I do realize that Addy might be the scout and try to just give information. But at the same time, that's just really unfortunate. Just really unfortunate timing of everything that happens within seconds, and they couldn't get out of there. And they happened to be just taking a breath, taking a bit of a deep breath up there after a long dive. And you know what? The team of Kazakhstan happened to be scoping as well. There's just perfect timing coming from Kazakhstan, but missed timing on the end of the side of Maldives. Now back to the side of Jordan. They have been very quiet today.
Been quiet when it comes to Sanhok, I guess, because from the previous game, when it comes to Miramar, I think Jordan speaks a lot about their movement, and they are so good. And back to Indonesia, this is what I predicted. They are going to the central part, north part of Painan when it comes to the middle part of map itself. But again, they're still waiting maybe where is the next circle. But I think this is still not a good idea because most of the teams are going to the central. But the third circle, I think quite favors a lot of team which already inside the circle right now. Because after this, a lot of team will have a hard time going to the circle. Not many ways you can go there.
But the thing is, if the circle heart shift to the southeast part.
And
back to the very small island of the Camp Charlie. Now that's going to be a bit of a problem, don't we? And it's going to be really a headache for these guys. Back to the side of Morocco, having Marshall just squeezing into the safe zone. Sankey taking on Dannon from Brazil. And it happens to be Brazil taking up the Blues in quite a lot. I'm not sure how many first aid they have, but Sankey with the DBS and M416 already prepared to play the healing game with 23 in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite logical when you can't enter the zone anymore. Sanhok is a very small map, so that way, if you already can't enter the circle, you just send the best of your teammates. I mean, like, if you have 4, maybe 3 can do the job, try to fight the other enemies, but if you can left one person behind with a lot of first aid, with this kind of circle, you still can manage to push your placement point, and that's really important. I
mean, like, it's Sanhok. We know the healing game. Yeah, we're going to see might be one of the highest healing in this entire tournament. Back to the side of SK Ton. Saudi Arabia with M416 spotted out their vehicles. Just going to push the tires open. Just blew it up. They're making sure they can't rotate for the side of Iraq team. Now, Volt and the rest of them are not happy about this. They definitely try to see where the shot's coming out from, but it's just too high up there. There's just hard for them to learn anything from this point of view. But Chinese Taipei still around Cam Alpha. Now finally we're looking at them trying to just take this as their own compound to defend it. But the problem is they need to take actions right now. They need to get here and be a bit more aggressive before more teams coming in, and that's a bit too late for them to got every corner possible.
Yeah, I mean, for Chinese Taipei, even after this, it is very hard movement coming from them. I mean, they need to go towards the top of the hill, which already was capped by players of Saudi. Even in the front of them, Iraq teams already there. So that way, it's not an easy way, especially if the circle shift again towards the right side of the map. But we'll see later because we haven't seen the condition about that. Still, with a calm before the storm, classic Sanhok when it comes to the third circle. After this, less than 1 minute is the next or the big deal. Where is the circle? Where it will be, and it will change a lot. I mean, a lot of fights will happen, especially for those who want to do a movement towards the circle.
I mean, like, if it happens to be ending in between Camp Charlie and also Camp Alpha, that's going to be a really headache, but it's going to be fun for us.
Yeah,
there'll be so many fishes swimming. There'll be a lot of mermans.
Mermans?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of mermen. There's going to be a lot of marines guarding as well. So they have to pick it very, very efficiently for the players to know where I mean, like, IGL in Sanhok is always so important. Yes, the other maps are important as well, but when it comes to a very small island like Sanhok, you have to really make sure your judgment is right. Back to the side of Nunes on the side of Brazil, and they are just trying to bait out I think that's going to be coming up from Morocco team just behind them. But he's not taking up the bit. They already start healing for some of the teams. So you know what? They're not even going to bother to get into the circle. They're just letting go. It's going to be 3-1 formation usually, right? Then one will be left behind and keep on healing for the placement points.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a very hard circle. Like, we already discussed a lot when it comes to team that are late going to the circle. And this circle really, really frustrating for all of the players. And Vietnam, again, I don't know, Vietnam is really good at Sanhok itself. They can control the gameplay, the tempo, I mean, like the prediction of the circle. But coming to Kazakhstan, so active from Axar, but being knocked down from far ahead. South Korea, the team that are quite aggressive today. They are showing their best, and one of the players from Kazakhstan down. But South Korea still having a big task right now, and it's quite tough because it is not easy to go towards the circle. Even there's no vehicle, but there's a counter shot. Puncher with a passion gameplay. Prone first, then revealing the position when the target is locked down easily.
Kazakhstan's really good when it comes to trying to get the information, POV to as a wide-angle view to just keep things going. Taking the racks of Kazakhstan team on left with 2 players. Even though it's a 2, it feels like they have a 4 here. They don't need that much man to actually just getting on one more down. Now, team coming up from South Korea are going to have a bit of a problem. Now, we're talking about they're going to play healing game, but they are with 2 players. We'll get into the safe zone. Pakistan taking on Chinese Taipei, who should be having this advantage of the Kemal Island because they are one of the first few to drop here. I'm surprised how they're just letting themselves being shot down like that.
Yeah, that's a big question coming to a Chinese type, I guess, because Vietnam already got their compound. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of vision, especially this particular compound. You can see towards the top of the hill, like I already mentioned, look at Vietnam. Lot of vision, but they need to be worried about the movement from Morocco. But back to the other place, too open for Indonesian teams right now, even being knocked down by the enemies near them, which is Brunei Darussalam, because Brunei really know how to handle this situation well, because they're from bootcamp. They know the edge of the cliff, and they know all the terrain that can be played. And right now, Indonesia, I think, quite late about the movement, but maybe is still left behind for the backstabber. Shooting coming from maybe, but it is not doing well because Chewy with a prawn shot 2 on point, and maybe need to be sent to the lobby.
I have to agree with Brunei's judgment call as well. They're just so good when it comes to the terrains and know exactly where to stand and peek here. Chewy and Newbie, only with 2 players, they managed to just give so much pressure to a sort of Indonesian team. Lermont and Martin, just as they lost Will earlier, there's nothing that can be done to actually save their teammates. It's quite out in the open. Marshall taking out Golden off the rug, but Newbie being spotted out by Martin. Now this is going to be a revenge call, but Martin, no time to lose. Last first aid, he needs to get out of it, and Lermont still got 1 last first aid there. 2 more if he uses the next one. And the circle shifted again, and it's going to be Vietnam taking the main compound with also 1 player coming up from Storm, which is going to be coming up from Kazakhstan. Volt Marshall with a high ground, giving so much pressure on top, but Volt managed to flee away in between the valleys.
Yeah, there was a really good momentum coming for Iraq, even though Reva, I think, still can be revived easily. But yeah, the movement from the other teammates helpful, and yeah, for this time, he still can revive. But back again to the Pakistan side with 6 elimination, but down by the shot coming from Titan or Kazakhstan through the smokes though.
No, that was a blind shot, by the way. But in the way he posed himself before he died, just cooking up there.
Yeah.
It looks heroic.
Yeah, it looks heroic.
It looks heroic.
Again, it's an elimination for Team Kazakhstan. So
what an unfortunate moment.
One unfortunate for the movement from Pakistan. So, but speaking of unfortunate, from Kazakhstan, the passenger, one of the player, which is Puncher, being knocked down easily because it's too open. But Taeakyu, this is what we are seeing a lot when it comes to the late game, and you are only left with only 1 player. A high-risk movement need to be done, but Kazakhstan, he knows he is going to the 1 million or Morocco side, but Taeakyu, I think it's too open, and Vietnam got the last elimination. Another elimination for Vietnam. Even short time after that, Saudi Arabia went back to the lobby.
He just drives straight into the monster's lair there. We're talking about the crossfire. Back to the side of Tra. We're talking about a Vietnam team earlier. They got themselves quite in the center before, but the circle shifted again. But they got a clear view coming from Marshall for the Moroccans. They're taking on Iraq team one by one, like flies dropping. Iraq just being cornered so hard. Marshall kept the pressure on with Sankey on the end. While we do have Nino from Brazil, have been cornered by the side of Jordan. We have Vietnam still sitting this quietly as a third party. Just going to CCTV it away, but there are teams that finish off by the play zone as well. Hong coming up as they're playing the healing game for Chinese Taipei. It didn't last long enough. We're down to only 5 teams here with Nino trying to defend this solo-handedly.
Yeah, it is not easy for Nino because look at those players. 3 players from Jordan actually still circling about the compound. I think they are searching, and Nino actually knows the position. And Lazy Boy knocked down one of the player from Team Jordan, but the comeback coming from Jordan still quite strong. Back again to the Morocco side. They still have the high ground. Vietnam, I think, will do the movement right now because only one compound inside the circle, and I think Vietnam with a proactive movement is still good. But Jordan is Isawi again and again showing us his quality, long-range shooting towards players of Morocco, I mean.
It's going to be 4v3, v2 with Jordans on the least man side. Got himself only 2 players left. Marshall and Lazy Boy. They got themselves the third player right on a bit of elevations. It's going to be Sankey hovering around to the side of a Vietnam team, moving as a team, as a unit, in unison. Vietnam tried to just put Tuanzi as the flanker, while Sao is still waiting in the compounds for the Jordans. They try to just stay quietly and let the others to have a bit of a CQC first, and they're butting in as the third party. Winnie, they're going to try to just relocate the players of Moroccan, but they're just blinded by the smoke right now. But the moment the smoke clears up, it's going to be 15 to 20 seconds for the smoke bomb. But it's going to be Sawi. Who have thought the Jordans are not that quiet at all?
I mean, not even the smokes just disappear. The shooting coming from Jordan is just to 1 point. I mean, they analyzed the movement really well, and even 1 player left with Morocco inside the circle because the other one, I think, is the investment. Doing the healing outside of circle, like I already mentioned, which is Senkai. I think Senkai need to be disciplined. He can't shoot all the players because if he lost even only 1 second, the healing game will be failed. But Lazy Boy is not lazy to moving, but still spotted. But Jordan, look at their shot. Look at their aggressiveness. They really want to shoot towards all the players from Vietnam, and I think Isawi will expose himself. It is not easy for Isawi. It's 2 open field, 2 versus 1 situation, shooting from the high ground. Isawi still managed to have a counter attack, but still not easy. And another anticlimactic win, I think, for Vietnam, because the last man standing from Morocco still doing the healing, which is Senkai. And again, what a strong performance. The shooting coming from Senkai. 1 elimination, 1 elimination, 1 elimination is confirmed. No, it doesn't work that well. But congratulations for Vietnam for the winner chicken dinner at Sanhok.
Valiant effort coming up from Sankar just now, but unfortunately it's just not on his hands and not on his side for the circle. To be closing up his side is just too far off, and he got himself quite a down climbing moment if he wants to actually push forward. But still, for Vietnam team, congratulations with that chicken dinner. We got ourselves our winner for Sanhok. They are very good when it comes to migration and navigating through the entire. So you got it right.
Yeah.
You guys
I got it
right.
Because when it comes to Vietnam, like I mentioned a lot, I don't know. They are one of the strongest contender when it comes to Sanhok. I mean, Eagle is the team for the representative of Vietnam right now. It is really on par with the Xavier gameplay. I don't know. They just have the magic when it comes to Sanhok because, you know, previously Saudi is actually controlling the high ground so well, but suddenly it is changed. It is changed with the gameplay from Vietnam itself. They can move as a unit really good when it comes to the high ground and won the game. And look at this corn. Sometimes corn fights back. So yeah, do not eat a lot of corns, guys.
I'm scared. I'm traumatized by corns now. But for the most unfortunate team for this round, I have to say it's going to be the side of Maldives.
Yeah.
They just want to dock themselves up there, but being stopped by so many Marines waiting at the shorelines. That's why I told Donald earlier, I'm surprised nobody tried to take the boat route, because that's an option for them if they need to, instead of swimming, because for Sado Sawi for the last few moments. I mean, like he was last in the first 8. He got nothing else to lose. That's the only option he has. At least he almost finished off one player in the last minute. It's just, you know, being blocked by the structures of a rock in between. But still, Vietnam, even though they have been a bit quiet early on, they still managed to eliminate 7 out of all the other players out there, securing themselves 22 points.
I mean, when it comes to Sanhok, I think the best way, especially for the first day, you need to be quiet at the early, because, you know, a team like Brunei fought a lot, even 8 elimination, but they failed to get the placement because it is so hard to defend yourself at Sanhok. It's too many open field. A lot of teams can interrupt your fight. So that way, a really good effort coming from Vietnam. They're just patient, going to the compound. Even I think only one aggression coming from them when it comes to one elimination to Chinese Taipei, if I'm not mistaken, because they won the compound. And starting from that point, they just need to wait. They just need to analyze the circle, the shifting of the circle. And at the last moment, when they still have 4 players or 4 manpower, they can do more proactive thing to go to the circle, then securing the compound, and suddenly becomes the conqueror of the map.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm waiting for a team like that, actually, to have a balance of both.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but today is still the first day, so I kind of respect that as well, because they need some time to just sort of, you know, mark their own territories and understand the enemy territories. So for the first day, I have a feeling we might end up with a lot of eliminations there. While they try to, you know, securing their territories, they might actually try to rank up with a lot of high kill volume. But back to our overall stats, we don't have as much as the previous match. A lot of, I mean, like, it's Sanhok.
Yeah, it's Sanhok.
It's Sanhok, guys. Even the healing in the planes, not as this much, honestly speaking.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to Sanhok, first of all, it's 16 teams, so I think it's adding more for the heal. But
we have to emphasize 16 teams.
16 teams. But I guess the only team committing enough when doing the healing is only 2 teams so far, which is Morocco, and I think they're doing it quite well, which is Senkai, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Senkai.
Yeah, and one more is Chinese Taipei. But I guess for Chinese Taipei sides, they failed to get a lot of first aid, because after the 5th circle, you really need the first aid. But welcome to the MVP, the most valuable players. Like I already mentioned from the play-ins, need to change his name because he's not newbie anymore. He's like a pro, I guess. 5 elimination, and here we go. Oh,
newbie!
What a sign, newbie!
Yeah, there goes Brunei. I mean, like, come on, guys, give them their own pro league.
Yeah.
We need that.
We need that. I mean, in this quality of gameplay, even newbie, you know.
What happened to the camera?
What happened? I mean, like from 8 eliminations, 6 comes from newbie. So that way, really carry the game, even though all of the teammates also have the portion, giving the information, giving the spirit. But newbie, again, as an individual, the skill is up there.
I'm really enjoying it. I've caught so many of their games as well. Like, they used to be known as Buah-Buahan.
Buah-Buahan?
Yeah, Fruits, like okay. Fruit Team. I don't know, is it Fruits Esports? But it's going to be a Fruity team at first. So they've been playing along together for quite some time now. So they kind of got the chemistry. It's just they've never been exposed to too much of Pro League tournament. They did actually have a lot of scrims with the Pro team, but it's so different with the pressure, right?
Oh, totally.
So right now I'm loving the fact that they're holding themselves, their composure, their calmness. It's just holding everything else together so well, even though they rarely show themselves in the pro scene ever.
I mean, it's not only about their skill. Yeah. It's not only about they are having a lot of experience, but when it comes to IESF, it's an offline stage. It's a venue, and they still manage to get a lot of elimination, strong performance. What else do you need? It's a compact team, I guess. So yeah, please,
I agree.
PUBG Mobile, make the Pro League in Brunei Darussalam.
We need it.
Yeah.
We need it more than everybody else now. But you know what? What we need right now is another break, because we're going to have back to as it wrangled, our OG Magnet Classical. And it's going to be still the 16 teams, but you guys should not go in here. Stay tuned. We're going to head over for a break and see you guys in a bit.